underway. You ready, Richard?
Yes, sir.
Good. Good.
It's a vital point in your life when you get to your 20s and 30s to individuate, become who you really are, and to live your life according to your own values. And if you don't, you will get depressed and you will get stressed, etc., etc. If you create a caring culture, it doesn't mean to say you can't get the short-term results. I mean, the problem arises when the leader is so fear-driven about the short-term results that it forgets these other values, which are inclusive values. So it gets so stressed out and fearful about getting this objective done and that goal done that they forget about these other things. And, you know, we have this expression in English, herding cats. Well, you know, it's like you're trying to get a bunch of cats together and you can't. Well, that's the same with people, you know, it's really hard. So that's why you have to have these values that people can respect, and they're all sharing the same value. Then they're heading in the same direction without you having to control anything. Really, actually, what we're talking about is psychological development. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about leadership. We're talking about helping people individuate, self-actualize, understand their vision, create a culture where people can grow and develop. And so you have to learn to lead yourself and overcome your fears so that you can be a role model for the people in your organization. So leadership development begins with leading self. Let me say, I mean, why waste my time? Why do I want to waste my time working with a leader who doesn't get the fact that they're creating the reality in the organization, and the only way to change the reality is to change who they are? Organizational transformation begins with the personal transformation of the leaders. If the leaders aren't willing to go there, why waste your time? But it's actually the responsibility and the accountability for culture change rests with the leaders. And if it doesn't, again, you're going to fail. If you delegate that to the HR department, it's not going to work. You as a leader and the leadership team have to fully live what you're trying to create. And if you're not, again, failure. Now, it's not surprising to me, anyhow, that the most advanced countries in terms of well-being are all run by women. You know, New Zealand, most of the Scandinavian countries, they have I've measured all of this, they have the highest levels of well-being. In the British Parliament, most of what happens, is probably true in Italy also, most of what happens is about how we look better than the opposition. It's not about how can we work together to create a community or a nation which is the best in the world. No, we're not interested in working together. We're interested in being better than the other people. And we're interested in power. That's the problem. Is the system is the problem.
So how do you change the system?
Well, you've got to keep hammering away at it, and little by little, because if you look back in history, it was even worse 100 years ago. I mean, if we're looking to America, forget it. We need to look to the Scandinavians. They are at the cutting edge. And even they are having some difficulties, but they're at the cutting edge. In New Zealand and Switzerland, they are the ones that are showing the way.